perfect Ephesians 2 verses 8 to 9. For the perfecting of the saints. It seems some saints are not yet perfect, Ephesians 4 verse 12. I belong to this imperfect group. God is light and absolute moral perfection. Only God is perfect. No sin or sinner can approach this altogether holy one and survive. As certain germs are destroyed by their very exposure to the sun, so a sinner, because of the nature of sin, cannot approach, let alone survive, in God's holy presence. It should be pointed out that this holiness, or this righteousness as Paul calls it in his gospel, is a positive living effulgence and moral energy of light and virtue. The heartbeat of holiness is love, and this love is modulated with an everlasting pulse of goodness and truth. How can man, who was originally created in God's likeness, and now so far fallen and ruined by sin, be restored to a spiritual state that is in harmony with the purposes and plan of the Creator? How can love lift a sinner out of the consequences of the curse without compromising the righteousness of God and His law? How can a man be saved from sin and become a son of the living God? The answer, of course, is Jesus Christ. God would come Himself and become the payment and ransom for sin. As all men are sinners through Adam's line, we are sinners by nature, as well as sinners by nurture. God Himself would become a perfect man, and in this humanity, by faith and submission to the Father, and by the power of the Spirit, as the perfect Son, live life as it was meant to be, and then die the only death that would sufficiently satisfy the demand of eternal justice, having all men's sins imputed to Himself. In this brilliant plan of salvation, as a sinless Christ who in Himself would never know death, tasted death for every man, that every man might taste life and live it abundantly and eternally. The genius of this gospel could only have been generated by God, as it flies in the face of every man-made religion and homegrown remedy. It is all of God, and He alone gets all the glory. In this salvation by grace through faith, we point to His merit, not our own. I was unworthy the day I came upon this truth, and in myself, I am unworthy still. I am not saved because I saw the light, though see it I did, Acts 26 verse 18. Nor am I saved because I turned, yet turn I did. Nor am I saved because I switched sides and rejected the authority and power of Satan, and flee did I, as Israel hurried out of Egypt. The first involves vision, the second decision, the third division. It is not the vision, decision, or division that saved me, rather it was the provision. I am saved because I received something from Jesus Christ. Salvation is a gift. No one can take that away. As believers, we may falter along the way in our vision, decision, and division, but nothing can separate us from the love of God and Christ's eternal provision. While we grow in grace and faith, we become mature and more like Him, but He alone is the perfect one. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. Ephesians 2 verses 8 to 9. ID.